This is Thomas. Glad to see you're with us for another episode. Hopefully you are. If this is your first episode, welcome to Geek Ronin. First and foremost, I want to make sure that everybody knows that this podcast is brought to you by InBeyond.com. Technically, InBeyond Studios. InBeyond.com is where you can check them out. They got a lot of cool stuff happening. There's some crazy shit that's going to be going on in the next year. We're not ready to talk about it quite yet, but it's going to be some really, really cool shit. So INBEON.com is where you can check out InBeon Studios. It's also brought to you by InBeon Con, which is a convention that is put together by said studio. That is really, really cool. If you like fan conventions and artist conventions and comic book conventions, think of every comic book convention that you've been to, and there's always what they call Artist Alley. This convention is literally Artist Alley. It is an artist convention. So if you like artwork, if you like handmade things, they always have crazy stuff, cosplay, gaming, you name it, they have it. Go to inbeyondcon.com. It is actually going to be August 26th, so if you want to get tickets now. It was crazy last year. I guarantee it's going to be even crazier this year, so you want to take advantage of that. INBEONCON.com to get tickets. You can contact Law Guy or Danny for tickets as well if you are friends with them on social media. The music break today is by our very own Danny Darko, song called Danny and the Dinosaur. Enjoy the fuck out of that. Check him out at successfullyfailing.com, and you can find a whole bunch of stuff. You can contact him as well at the real Danny Darko on Instagram. So please, by all means, check that out. The new intro song for Geek Ronin Until Further Notice is by a band called Wedding Camp. The song is called Bedbugs. It is off their first, not their first EP, their latest EP, which is their second EP called Clear Fizzy Things. They're like a surf, pop punk almost kind of band. It's hard to describe. You'll know exactly what I'm talking about when you hear the song at the beginning of the show. So by all means, check them out. You can find them at bandcamp.com/weddingcamp. That's wedding as in like I'm going to a wedding, and camp as in did you go camping? So check that out. They're super cool. I know the lyricist and the guitar player Rachel. Shout out to Rachel and all the other two members of Wedding Camp for letting us use this tune. Really, really dig it. The EP is awesome. Go out there, everybody, and get their two EPs. They're worth it by far. And the Game of Thrones theme that we use for this episode, because we are going to be talking about Game of Thrones, and a side note on that, this episode was recorded about 2 weeks ago, so it doesn't include the last two episodes that have come out, and the episode that you'll be getting, not next week, but the week after, will more than likely have stuff that included the last 2 weeks in the episode. So I know it's a little confusing, but with our time constraints, it's difficult to meet up every week and record, so we sort of split things. So don't worry about that. At the end, when season 7 is done, we're gonna do a full season recap. We're gonna do a whole episode that's just Game of Thrones, and we're gonna go through everything bit by bit. It's gonna be a long one, but it'll be a good one. But the theme that we are using is the guitar cover theme by our friends in It Lives, It Breathes. And if you go to Spotify.com or on your apps or whatever, search for It Lives, It Breathes. Literally, that's what it is. So IT space LIVES, comma, space IT space BREATHES. It Lives, It Breathes. And you can hear all their stuff. They do a bunch of awesome covers. They did Black or White, Johnny Be Good. They've done a bunch of wrestling covers, which are really, really sweet too. They've done this past one. I remember when I first started following, they had done what was it? Call Me, is it Call Me Maybe? Yeah, it was Call Me Maybe. they do awesome covers, and their last album, Silver Knights, is a great album. So you want to check them out. They're on iTunes, Google Play. You can find their stuff at Best Buy. So you want to go to Spotify and look for them, or go to youtube.com/itlivesitbreathes, and you can see all the videos there. So please, by all means, check them out as well. I want to throw a big thank you out to the guys for just continuing to support for them from It Lives It Breathes, and to Guy, Danny, Law, for putting up with the weirdness of this show, and for all of you that are listening. So please, we will. Please keep tuning in. Sorry, my brain's going a million miles an hour. We will be getting a website set up, and we will have our stuff on iTunes and Google Play and Stitcher and all those fun apps for you as soon as we possibly can. It's just a process, but I would rather go through this process and make it less money and or free to give that to you than to pay a service and possibly have hiccups. So that's what we're doing right now. Mainly we're going to be talking about, on this episode, is going to be the whole Domino thing. We get a little bit more in depth. We ramble about a lot of things, which is, if you've listened to us or when we were formerly known as We the Geek, we did a lot of rambling. And then about the last hour is going to be Game of Thrones. And like I said, it's going to be stuff that we had only gotten through the 3rd episode of the season. So they haven't been the last 2 episodes. And trust me, we're going to get to those, and we're going to get to everything that happens at the end of the season as well. So just keep tuning in. Next week, we are going to have a shorter podcast that involves a conversation between me and Law after a night of heavy drinking in New York when I went down to visit everybody. So be on the lookout for that one. And we have a special story, the first installment of a particular smaller series by Law at the end of the podcast. So be sure to tune in for that. That's everything I got to say. That was a long intro. I'm finally done. Let's fucking roll it.
Geek Ronin, what's up?
Yo, this be the Darko of Danny. You're listening to Geek Ronin, not We the Geek, Tom. Alright, so yeah, Domino?
It's Domino.
Oh, yeah, so like I was saying before, like, this is why this fucking situation is so retarded, because we're getting... Okay, Domino, in the comics, I guess she's white.
Well, her skin is white because of her mutation, but she's not necessarily white.
But she's actually, from what I remember, she's Asian.
Okay,
or she's alluded to be Asian descent.
You got people complaining.
They don't know. They've never actually said what her ethnicity is.
Yeah, but you got people complaining that they're using a dark-ish skinned girl who has vitiligo, which is, like, you know, everybody's been saying it's genius that they did that because it works with her situation. But the thing is, like, people are getting worked up, and they constantly get worked up about this shit that's fiction. This is not a biopic of Obama or Abraham Lincoln or something like that where you're fucking that shit up, where it's supposed to be like a actual depiction of that character and their life.
The color of her skin or the skin of the actress really has nothing to do with how the character is portrayed. As long as the character is portrayed correctly.
One day, we're going to have someone like Khaleesi, who's supposed to be white with whitish blonde hair, played by the girl who plays her fucking most trusted advisor. Like, and everyone's gonna lose their mind. Oh wait, did that happen already? It did! Oh my gosh, they're fictional fucking characters!
Yup.
Like, why are you so worried about what they look like and not the story? I'm more mad at fucking stories not told correctly than fucking what the hell the characters look like.
Look, I think, in my opinion, if you're getting the blessing from the creator, if they're still alive, or the people currently
Absolutely.
creating, then that's okay.
God.
So, like, if Rob Layfield is saying...
One more time for the people not listening. If you're getting the fucking what?
Fuck the revival. That's a wrestling joke, by the way. But if you're getting the blessing of the creator, the writer, whatever the artist, whoever it was that has stake in the actual character, then it's okay. So if Rob Layfield, if that's his name, right? Layfield or Lowfield?
Yeah.
Layfield, right?
Layfield.
If he's cool with it. If he created the character, he's cool with it. So, like, if Todd McFarlane says, hey, he wants, such and such to play such and such, if he created that character and he's given the blessing, that's cool. Like, you go back to Ghost in the Shell. Ghost in the Shell, they got the blessing from the original creator.
J.K. Rowling did it with Hermione. When they did the play about Harry Potter in the UK, there was a play made for the Cursed Child or whatever the case is, and she said, I never specified that Hermione was white. So the fact that she is brown skinned with curly hair and not a ginger with curly hair, like, I never said that. I never specified that.
George
and everyone
is one of the most hands-on people with
yes.
And there's a lot of changes. So if you're complaining, about, like, I hear people complaining about Khaleesi not having Daenerys not having purple eyes or whatever. Okay, George R. Martin
we'll get into that after. I'm sorry, I'm not gonna go.
Oh yeah, that was a horrible segue, Danny. See, I told you I suck.
Well, listen, we're all a little amped. We're all a little excited. Listen, first season, we're technically this counts as first season too, but it counts as third season of all of this. But first season was essentially the Game of Thrones recap season.
Well, yeah, it's because we were only doing an hour, and then we would just get taken away on rants.
Yeah, and at one point it was just me and Tom.
Aren't you so glad that we went to 2 hours and then I started calling in late?
Well, now we can do whatever, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, we can go all day long.
Exactly.
Not that I would, but hey, when I get fired, then I could stay here till fucking 1 a.m. I don't give a shit. But
it's all right. Like, keep that in the edit, Tom. I don't give a shit.
Yo, somehow they're gonna hear that at my job and gonna be like, you know what? We're gonna fire this guy on grounds that he's not getting a severance. I'm like, all right, cool. Thank you, Geek Ronin, for putting my shit out there. No, I'm kidding. I don't fucking nobody know what the fuck is going on.
Listen, Geek Ronin's gonna make you more money than you can ever fucking dream of.
Exactly, right? Successfully failing. Dude, I really hope Seattle goes down, because if Seattle goes down, it is going to be the biggest thing fucking for everybody, because NBN has never done Seattle, right? Nor have they done San Diego.
Not yet.
So, like, yeah, so if we're the first ones to get
I'm dying for us to get West Coast. But at the same breath or the same regard, I'm also trying to get us fucking international. So it's like, whatever fucking comes first, comes first.
Yeah. Obviously,
if we go to Seattle and we go to West Coast, I'm fucking ecstatic. I've never been to Seattle, and I have family over there, so fucking let's go Seattle. If we're like, if fucking MCM London calls us and goes, yo, NBN, you guys got accepted, I'm like, deuces, motherfucker, I'm getting my passport. Bye, bitches.
Dude, I'm dying to hit up Canada, man.
Oh, yeah.
And you know what I want to do too?
One, no?
Yeah, there's the big Toronto one. You know what I really want to do too? Because, like, I've been listening to a lot of the Chris Jericho podcast, and a lot of these big name wrestlers, they came out of Canada.
Right.
So there's a lot of promotions out there, and I actually want to see what they're like. Because these are smaller independent things where you can go So, but anywho, that's a little different. But yeah, man.
Have you been watching any of Pete's shows? What is it? BCM wrestling?
I forgot. Wait. What? Oh no! I never watched. I know what you're talking about now. I'm thinking about. Yeah, I know Pete Rosato. Yeah.
Yeah.
Commentary, right?
He's been asking me to come to one of his shows, but he always like has shows when I'm fucking doing a million different other things. But
Like that,
me and you need to come to one of his shows for sure.
I'm definitely down to do that, man. I want to go. I have a friend. You may know her. I think it's Victoria. She's friends with she's friends
Victoria
with
D.
I forget her last name. She's friends with Bree. Hold on, I'm gonna send you the link right now. But she's a wrestler. Her and her boyfriend wrestle, and I really want to go see them wrestle.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, like hold on.
I have to like
Victoria Tornetto. She's friends with
I don't think I know her. Hold on, let me grab my phone. Keep talking. I'm gonna put my headphone down and
yeah,
and grab my phone.
Her and her boyfriend are wrestlers, so it's pretty cool. But
oh shit.
Yeah, go get your phone. I got you.
All right.
But yeah, dude, like if we get the Seattle gig, man, like it's gonna be big for everything. Like, you know, it's you know what I find really cool too? People actually listen to our stuff and my stuff, and it's like one of my homegirls, like I was just talking to her yesterday, she was home and she's like out of nowhere, oh, I'm listening to your podcast. I was like, what? And she like went back to the beginning. I was like, shit.
Mm-hmm. You know, we already have 10 subscribers on YouTube.
Oh yeah. You have how many?
We already have 10. The podcast.
What? No problem. What I gotta do is I gotta put you on.
Not a problem.
What I gotta do is I gotta put you on the on the YouTube page. There's a section where you can put like associated pages or whatever. So like you know, like anybody who you're associated with, or you know, you could put there. So like if somebody's on your channel, they could see that. So I gotta throw this up on there too.
Yeah, I'll do the same.
Yeah, so it's like it's right there and everything. So but yeah, like dude, I'm at like 880, like, and all because of those music videos that I recorded. Like when I went to Warped Tour, out of all the bands, like I recorded Silverstein and
888 on Instagram.
Subscribers, no, on YouTube. And that's mostly because of the music videos.
Congrats, brother.
Thank you, man. I'm trying to push to get 1,000, man. I just wish more people would look at the other stuff. But the music video stuff this is why like I'm really huge on concerts and Warped Tour, because they get me a lot of views. I got this Pierce the Veil video that has over 500,000 views, which is ridiculous. I never thought that would happen.
Wow.
And people watch it. I get comments to this day. But no, I recorded Silverstein, Bad Omens, and what was the other band I recorded? Fuck, it was 3 bands that I really got. Somebody robbed me. But yeah, like that. Bad Omens, they're like a relatively new band. Like both of their videos combined, about 5,000 already, and it's been a couple weeks. Like I was like, shit. I thought like Silverstein would get more views or whatever. But yes, I do that shit and it helps out a lot. So, but anywho, yeah. It's nice to know that people actually listen to us. So I think if we get out to the West Coast, because I remember doing when I had the table at Baltimore, like that shit was crazy. Like, and you know, I know
are you trying to do Baltimore this year, or you're not gonna be able to do it?
I want to, but I need to know that the space, like there's table space available. I've been meaning to email people, and
so you already applied and you're accepted, or like what's happening?
No, I didn't. But with that, it's one of those things where you just pay and you get in. If they have the space, they're one of those shows.
Oh,
so
okay, gotcha.
If they have the space, then I could get a table. I know it's getting close. Thankfully, it's not to the end of September, so I have to email the guy because I didn't think I would be able to because of the way the money situation has been. But I'm thinking I could make it happen. And like I said, when this situation goes down, I have the time. So. And then are we doing it? Like, is Imbion doing it, or?
Baltimore, as far as I know, is off the table right now. So, like, this year was a really like let's condense and not do as many shows. Yeah. So the last big show that we did was Tidewater.
Yeah.
And then we're focusing on Imbion Con, and then potentially, well. Not potentially, but definitely NYCC, potentially Puerto Rico, and maybe another show afterwards if I can squeeze it. Maybe even a comic bar con if I'm trying. So actually Comic BarCon talked to us. The guy, or actually the girl who runs their events, hit me up about a Halloween event, but we couldn't like figure out the time and get the back and forth. But they're still wanting to work with us. She's super cool. So I'm trying to work out something, at least another Comic BarCon before the end of the year.
Okay, that works.
Sweet.
What was I gonna say? But if I can swing Baltimore, would you wanna join in? Well, that's something we could talk about on off air, because it's not some shit like I'm gonna put you on the spot and shit. But yeah, like but yeah, we'll talk about that off air. But Baltimore's something I want to do. The biggest thing is that for me it's not that much of an investment, and it may be good for me because I could possibly make money going into Comic-Con. Because, Comic-Con, I don't have the space other than, like, whatever little space I got at the Imbion booth. But, I don't have my own table and all that shit. So, there's something I want to do. So, and also the Orioles are playing that weekend. So, I would definitely like to go out there and go to Camden Yards. Because baseball games are dumb cheap. So, but anyways, yeah, that's something. So, anyways, back to... Where were we? We went from fucking Domino to some other shit.
We were on Domino, but I really feel like we said pretty much as much as needed to be said.
True, that it's stupid that people are complaining, and they should shut the fuck up and trust that the people that are part of this project have done a relatively good job. So,
yeah, just fucking roll with it.
Like, have they not learned anything from Heath Ledger? Like, it's funny, like it's a little off topic. Like I bring up the same thing.
Say that all the time.
With the Knicks, like when they drafted Kristaps Porzingis, everybody booed him. They drafted another foreign guy who's supposed to be really good, and he's young as fuck, and they're shitting on him. But like, haven't you learned? So yeah, haven't you guys learned from Heath Ledger? Like, no. Let people.
No,
of course,
they never will.
Because they're gonna be like, oh, she sucks, and next thing you know, everybody's gonna be fucking cosplaying as her. As that version of her. So, yeah, Domino's going to be the biggest cosplay going into Comic-Con.
Domino, Captain Marvel, Squirrel Girl, those are going to be the next ones for the next few years. Thor Ragnarok is going to be another one.
Hela.
And Hela is going to be another one. Wonder Woman for sure.
The new Spider-Man.
We've been seeing Wonder Woman.
You know what I want to do?
We've been seeing Wonder Woman. We've been seeing Spider-Man.
One day at New York Comic Con, I'm gonna do a middle-aged Baby Driver. So like put like gray in my hair, but still dress like the character from Baby Driver. Have like the headphones. And the sunglasses and everything, but I'll just be middle-aged.
You'll be like, holy shit, you're Baby Driver.
You're gonna get like one person, one dude. Like,
shit. It's not gonna be a fucking common thing, but it's gonna be at least one person. I was explaining to my coworker the other day, like, I saw someone dressed like an obscure character from Orphan Black.
Yeah.
It was like 3 years ago at New York Comic Con when Orphan Black like just was like really getting like headway. And I was like, oh my gosh, you're the soccer mom from Orphan Black. And she was like, yes, you're the first person who fucking noticed me. Oh my god, this and third. You're going to be that character. Like, everyone's going to be like, are you this person? Like, it's going to be obscure enough that, like, people are going to question it, but no one's going to have the balls to ask you who you are.
Did I tell you guys what I plan on doing for, like, 1 or 2 days this year? That's not the Joker?
No, what?
Really?
Yeah, so I'm gonna do like the boy version of Coraline.
Nice.
Yeah,
Really?
So you're gonna gender bend Coraline? That's awesome, dude.
Listen to me right now. I am super excited to see this.
Yeah, dude. I just gotta find like
when you do it, my camera will be ready.
All right, nice. My biggest decision I have to make is, do I buy yellow Doc Martens or do I buy yellow rain boots? Because I do want to switch it up a little bit, but I do want, like, I mean, rain boots might be cheaper than Doc Martens.
Think of it this way. What's going to be more comfortable? Because if you're wearing it at NYCC all day, let's say Saturday, because that's the big day, are you going to be more comfortable in rain boots or Doc Martens?
I don't know. It's a good question. Because I've never wore like the heavy duty Doc Martens.
Speaking cosplayer to cosplayer, I'm one who's more of a comfort than I am expensive costume, but
you're gender bending it too, so you're already taking a different interpretation of what that character would be.
Yeah, I mean, if you guys know my Joker, that's nothing but comfort right there. Like, it's regular fucking clothes. Like,
absolutely.
So that's one thing. So it's gonna be like it's not like I'm going out and making my own costume. All I'm gonna do is buy like I gotta find a cool looking yellow raincoat coat, like something. I might buy something that I'll wear on a regular. But you know,
should do that and the kid from It.
They might think I'm the kid from It because people are, because It is the new thing. So, it's gonna be so annoying because
it's coming out what, in September or late August?
It's gonna be out before Comic-Con. So I'm gonna be going as Coraline, the boy Coraline, and everybody's gonna think I'm the kid from It. So it's like,
well, doesn't Coraline have blue hair?
Yeah, she has blue hair, but somebody's gonna be like, "Oh, you're the kid from It," and I'm gonna be like, No. I mean, the difference is the balloon, though. Scotty Young drew a picture of that kid, and it did look a little bit like Coraline, but the difference is the balloon, because that kid has a balloon. But Coraline's got blue hair. But I'm pretty sure most people will get it, but there are gonna be those handful of people that are gonna be like, "Oh my God, it's a kid from It," and I'm be like,
yeah, well, like I said, I'm gonna be that random guy that's dressed like a middle-aged Baby Driver. So I mean, like, what if Baby Driver? Like, what if Baby Driver was a hipster?
Batman Beyond, so I can meet Mark Hamill and Tara Strong and finally get my whole childhood completed.
Oh, Tara Strong's gonna be there too?
Tara Strong and Mark Hamill. I'm like fucking trying to contain myself because meeting Kevin Conroy and Will Friedle was like, oh shit, like that was big enough.
Set up those meetings now.
Pay for those meetings now. Meanwhile, I'm like, I'm never gonna fucking meet Tara Strong. I'm never gonna fucking meet Mark Hamill. Both of them got announced this year. I'm like, oh my God, I gotta make a new costume.
I don't know if Tara Strong is, but at least Mark Hamill switched it up to all weekend. So, because Mark Hamill was just 2 days at one point, but nice.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah. Go do your thing, Law. Nobody's seeing you. Oh, look at that headphone. It just broke. Nice.
Oh, yeah.
He's nuts. But yes, that's what I'm going to do.
Yeah, Baby Driver. Yeah. Dude, how fucking good was that movie? Since Law's not here to talk about it. How fucking good was that movie? You haven't seen it yet?
Oh, dude, that's one of the movies I wanted to see, and I haven't got to see it. I'm like, fuck. Yeah, I feel bad. Like,
it was so good.
But you could talk to me about it. I mean, it's all good.
Dude,
I mean, I know you're not gonna ruin it.
All I have to say is look up what's on the playlist and listen to the soundtrack.
Oh, I bet.
Well, the cool part is, and this doesn't really give anything away for the movie for those who haven't seen it yet. It's all queued up to a playlist.
That's good.
So, like, there are certain spots in the music that will hit on certain marks. He makes even reference to it in the movie. There's always music playing. Always.
Yeah, because I know he had that accident as a kid, and he sort of can't function without music in his ear.
He has extreme tinnitus, so he plays the music to drown out the fucking constant ringing, and it helps him focus. So he's essentially deaf, but all he can hear is just this giant ringing.
Yeah.
So he hears enough, so he can hear like music and stuff, but there's always a constant ringing over it. So he always has music playing, and because he grew up with a deaf father, he can lip read and he can do sign language.
Yeah, see, like creative movies like that, like I want to see more of that. Like everything's like
done.
That's why I knock these body count movies because whether they're good or not,
I wouldn't mind seeing Atomic Blonde, but I wanted to see Baby Driver first.
Yeah,
because I was like I have to see that in the theater. It was totally worth it because the car chases were awesome. The storyline was complex enough, but it wasn't super complex. It was very straightforward.
Yeah, they don't have to be like. I always say like it doesn't have to be a Scorsese film, or a Christopher Nolan film to be an effective like story. There's plenty of movies out there where they're solid enough where it's like it keeps you intrigued, and it's all a combination of because some movies have the story, but they don't have that sort of drag you in. I'm not saying action, but just like sequences and that sort of formula. But then there's
Are we
those
talking
movies.
based on like actually watching the movie or from just trailer alone?
No. Watching the movie. Like, there's movies out there that, like, some movies are, because we were like talking about Baby Driver in just a sense that, like, the story's not super crazy complex.
It's complex enough, but
yeah,
it's not complex where you're like, you kind of know where the story's going to go, but because it's so intriguing and the way that it's put together, and once everything starts clicking in your head with
it's
how
to
everything
keep you
works,
pulled in and
it's like
okay.
This is how
essentially
I when I watch wrestling, you kind of know what's gonna happen. You get the gist of who's gonna win for the most part, but when you know they're good wrestlers when they make you forget about them.
Wrestling's not fake. Oh my god!
It's like I liken it to, like, to dancing. It's choreography. Like, I've been watching a lot of New Japan, and that stuff, like, it's so, like, I was just watching it earlier, and it's like, I don't really go crazy with that, like, with wrestling, because you kind of know what's gonna happen. Maybe something like some crazy move will be done, and it's like, holy shit. But with this stuff, it's bringing me back to days where, like, you're a kid and you're like, oh my god, he kicked out, like, shit like that. And that's what I'm trying to get at with this analogy, like, with these movies. Like,
it's the same thing.
You may see it, but the movie still brings you in enough that you kind of almost forget.
Yeah, like I said, like the storyline was very, very good, and it was well produced, and it was well put together. It was well shot. If you go and listen to the soundtrack, you can probably find the soundtrack on, like, Spotify or something like that.
You were saying the entire sound.
It's synced up to a fucking essentially a giant playlist. Yeah.
Okay.
So, like, there's almost always music playing. Like, 99% of the time, there is music playing somewhere in the background that he's listening to.
Does it take away at all? Or
no, it adds a whole nother layer to everything, because
it's like it is the score.
He plays his own score throughout the movie. So, like, instead of just having random music just droning, he has multiple iPods throughout in the movie that he listens to.
The deal with him is what? Like, he has like a hearing,
tinnitus.
Which is
ringing. You know how you get ringing in your ears after like a concert for a couple of days? Think of that multiplied by like 50, and then it's constant.
Yeah, because he was in a bad accident or something like that as a kid or some shit, something of that nature. But, like, you know what's funny? Like, you guys remember Dante's Peak, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now, I remember watching that movie in the theater when I was younger, and, like, they're all gonna survive. That's one of those movies. But that movie, at least when I was watching it at that time, it's like you knew they were gonna survive, but the way it was going down, it's like, shit. What if they die? So that's going back to this. It's like you watch a movie and it's like, maybe you know that whatever's gonna happen, but and I like that. So the fact that Baby Driver's like that, and there are movies that are original, maybe not the most super mindfuck movies, but it doesn't have to be that.
But that was the cool part. Like, that was the cool kind of almost mindfuck deal. It's not even like a mindfuck, but it was that cool twist that made the movie really, really good. Was Baby, the main character, pretty much he was like controlling the soundtrack of the movie, and he would actually cue things up. He actually made a reference to it. Like, he was during one of the robberies.
Is it done first person esque, or is it done like as an actual, like, you're viewing what's happening?
Yeah, it's a movie.
Oh no, because you said when you made reference to like him actually like playing through the list.
Well, yeah, because he always has his headphones in, and he always has his iPod or a iPod. He has many different iPods that he's had throughout the years that have different songs, and he uses different iPods throughout the movie to create the soundtrack to what he's going through, because he's constantly listening to music.
Okay, I wasn't sure.
We're hearing it as the soundtrack, and there are some of them that's sort of like background music where it's playing in the background, but he's listening to it, but it doesn't pertain to really what's going on. It's sort of almost filler music, but some of the action scenes will have more sense. Like, things will hit on certain cues, cuts will happen and whatnot. It's done to the playlist. And there's even a point in the movie where one of the bank robbers is talking, and they get confused, and he's like, "Wait, hold on! If you're gonna start now, I gotta restart the song." and then he counts out. He's sitting there and he's tapping. He's like, and go now.
Am I spending matinee money on this, or am I spending like full price on this?
Honestly, the only reason I saw it at matinee was because I had gotten out of work early, and I was like, fuck it, I want to go see this movie. Because I've been trying to go see it for the last month, and just never works out going during the evening. Right. So I was like, fuck it, I have time right now. I'm gonna go see the movie. But
all right. So, but I'm gonna try my best to see it tomorrow, or if not,
it would have been I'm getting the kind of vibe with this movie where like how it was with Mad Max. Now, granted, Mad Max was more of it was already a franchise, so there was bigger. But like when I went to go see it, it was one of those things like I knew it was gonna be good, or even Kick-Ass. When I first saw the trailer for Kick-Ass, I was like, this is gonna be good. And when you watch the movie, it's sort of like it exceeds your expectations in a sense because of the originality of it. And that's one thing I get from this movie, and I haven't seen it. So it's like, yeah, you could tell it's one of those movies that like, or Scott Pilgrim, same director.
Who you said the Baby Driver director is the same one from Scott Pilgrim?
Yeah, and he also did Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, at World's End. He's done a bunch of movies.
Yeah, and movies he doesn't get too much credit.
I'm already intrigued enough as it is with the concept of the movie that now hearing like the credits that he has to his name, I'm like, you know what?
Yeah, he wrote and directed it.
And you even go back to like Scott Pilgrim. As stupid as the premise sounded, like it was an original movie. You know, like not every movie has to be like, you know, super realistic based on, you know, like
Scott Pilgrim was a graphic novel series.
No, I know that. I'm just saying, like even if it wasn't, or even the graphic novel itself, like it's a stupid premise. Abraham Lincoln.
It's great though too. It's a ridiculous premise, absolutely.
Yeah, ridiculous. I don't mean stupid. Like Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter.
Wait, is that the same guy?
No. He's a different.
Oh, I was like, damn, that like.
No,
that's such a like diverse a range of like body of work. You know what I mean?
It was only like one scene I didn't like in Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter. That was that big horse scene, because I just felt like it was this big horse battle scene. Not a horse battle scene.
It was not overdone, but overused.
It was almost overdone. Like it was like it didn't need to be in there because the movie. But the thing is, with that movie, it was the silliest premise ever. I don't know if I told you the story of how I came across the book. Like I remember somebody posted on Facebook.
Awesome.
Yeah, I actually have the book now.
Awesome.
I haven't. I saw the movie, but I've actually never read the book.
I don't know how to read, so but I saw my friend had posted a quote saying something about somebody said something along the lines of Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter being more believable than the Bible. And when I heard that shit, I was like, oh my God, I need to. And then not too long after that, I saw they were making a movie for that. I was like, oh, I gotta see this. And I love how they integrated like that crazy ass premise with real life situation, you know, the Civil War, and they made it mesh. It worked. And so yeah, so like movies like that, like not every movie has to be super, you know, like realistic in a sense. Like I knock the Furious franchise because it started out one way and it became something else. If it was what it is now from the beginning,
it wouldn't have made it this far.
Well, not even that, but that's true too. But if it was like, you know, the Fast and Furious movies we're seeing now, if that's how it was from the get, if it was this high octane espionage kind of franchise, I would take it a little more serious. But when you started out as like a ghetto influence, you know, hip hop influence, I don't mean ghetto influence, hip hop influence,
Danny, you're gonna trigger our 4 subscribers.
Hey, fuck it, we'll bring in more people. Those 4 subscribers will complain, and they'll bring in other people, and next thing you know, everybody's listening. But no, like it was aimed at that hip hop demographic, you know, street racing and all
Absolutely.
that.
And you have Ja Rule as one of your fucking feature film stars.
Ludacris, still in it.
Like,
well, I love Ludacris, but like so.
Ludacris is a whole. Listen. You are not putting Ludacris and Ja Rule in any category together.
No,
whether it be hip hop or acting, they are not in any of the same categories.
Exactly. Luda is my boy. But yeah, so like if you look at something like Transformers, as much as I didn't like the fourth one, and I probably won't like this one. I still haven't seen it yet. The last night, at least with that, it's supposed to be outlandish.
Mm-hmm.
You could make arguments about the way the story's been going lately, but anyways, my point is, not every movie has to be serious. So like people maybe might knock a movie like Baby Driver or Scott Pilgrim or Shaun of the Dead or these weird Kingsman or something like that. But these movies, I mean, some of them are based on graphic novels, but these movies are just like, Mad Max. Mad Max was a weird fucking movie, even going back to the older ones.
Mm-hmm.
But it was creative. It did its own thing. Like even Mad Max integrated the score into the movie, like actually integrated it with that vehicle with the fucking guitar dude and the dudes playing the drums. Like,
oh my god, yeah. Like he became such a big
yeah.
What's the word? Like
his name is Doff or something like that. But he became a big like sort of like icon in a sense, I guess.
Yeah. I wasn't sure if I wanted to use icon, but he became such like a bigger thing than what the movie was. You know what I mean?
And it was really cool how they like did that. Like it was almost like a fourth wall kind of thing, breaking the fourth wall kind of thing, where like he was actually playing. Like I remember that one scene where they got stopped and he was playing the guitar slowly. Too bad you can't see me, but whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so I don't know. Like I like originality. I like shit like that. So these nuts. Swag. Yeah. Swag. Yeah. Hi-yo.
Agent of chaos, the man without a plan. I write about the kind of stuff you only hear when the lights are out. Call me Dr. Strange, very much unorthodox. It seems they won't come out of it, so I'll bring it to the box. I got tired of the weak rhymes and irrelevance. Time to shake it down, you won't ever cage this elephant. My ego tends to get bigger than Snuffleupagus. It's hot when I cook this raw-ish oven mitts. Yeah, you listen, but are you comprehending it? Like when I say I give you menopause with every bar I spit. It's a rap for the ABC nursery rhymes. I will gladly take them all out, one at a time. You can hate all you want, just wait in line. Better bring an iPad filled with movies just to pass the time. Leave them at a standstill, ain't afraid to take on the bull. In that case, I am Raps Johnny Knoxville. Yeah, I'm tatted up, don't need to write a song about it. Rather be about than talk about it. Dudes are so retarded, never pushed yay. Nor am I reppin' colors, don't do thug things. Pretty much a nerdy mother uffer, lyrical mother effer. Rapping with a vengeance, while you kids cut out words and paste it to a sentence. Don't need to turn this into a Michael Bay produced film. I still blow up with a lower budget, less chill. Smoke a L while we talk about the finer things. The finest bitch don't mean a thing if all she wants is diamond rings. So what if I choose to abuse these lame kids who spit the same lame shit, lobotomized brain shit? Yes, I'm pummeling, crushing on my opposition. Don't get it twisted like we're fucking in awkward positions. I got a riddle for you. Who spits hot bars, real life sick shit, and never even owned a car? Stay fresh like produce, keep fiber in my diet. Bet I'm sick with this shit I produce. Don't believe a thing, man, fuck what they told you. Bust rhymes, bust nuts, my comment is so true. Let me occupy your ears, 2 minutes of your life, and that's all I ask for. That and a couple of likes. Always come correct, got that 100 on my test scores. Wanna test me, better be heavily prepared for laser beams and rocket ships and pocket monsters. I'm a problem, call the army, call the navy, try to stop them. See, I be kicking, I be pushing, and I'm coasting like an ocean. When I'm flowing corny rappers, I dispose of them. Stop riding my dick, just hold it then. Another day, another dollar, here we go again. You want another problem, I'm not the guy you're looking for, so think again before you mess with Danny and the dinosaur. Dude, I just farted and like swag came out of my butt.
What's up? This is the Law, and you're listening to Geek Ronin.
several episodes. We haven't talked about it yet. Have either of you guys listened to the guitar cover of the Game of Thrones theme song that It Lives at Breeze did?
Mm-hmm.
Wait.
Kevin tagged me in it.
Is that recent or is that like an old thing?
Recent.
I haven't heard it.
You should listen to it because we're gonna use it for the introduction of this segment.
I love It Lives. I put my roommate onto it, and he was like, "Oh my god, like who are these guys?" And I was like, "Listen, I love these guys. Like they're amazing." But I have not heard it.
You should.
By the way,
no offense to Kevin, but it doesn't top the Enter Shikari cover.
True.
But Kevin did. Yeah, I mean not Kevin. I forget. Is it Anthony?
Anthony, yeah.
Yeah, he killed it. I mean, but they did a good job.
Can we like get Kevin on here at some point?
Oh, I'm sure we can.
Yeah, of course.
Right, cool.
As long as we're not dealing with who, we good.
Who should not be named?
He who shall not be named.
Yeah, Game of Thrones has been crazy. Like, you know what's funny? Like that last episode, like I know a lot of people have been saying it, but that was probably one of the best organized, like well-written episodes. Like
it was so. All right, when I was watching it, my roommate Dennis was like, "Yo, bro, like make sure you pay attention." And I'm like, "Yeah, I know." And he's like, "No. Make sure you pay attention." I'm like, "All right, cool." So I'm like eating dinner and I'm watching it, and like shit was going down, and I'd just be fucking shouting to his room like, "Bro, holy shit!" And he'd be like, "Yep."
You know that's one show I can't have my phone out for. Like, there's certain things where I watch without like paying attention to my phone. Even if I'm waiting for a text or something like that.
Yeah.
Like it's one show because you don't wanna blink. It's like you don't want to miss anything.
Absolutely. And it's bad because like there's times where like, okay, so admittedly I've watched Game of Thrones and been next to my phone, but that's just the nature of the jobs that I work, that I have to be close to my phone. Mm-hmm. But admittedly, especially when Red Wedding and this past episode happened, like my phone was so fucking far removed from me because of the nature and the context of how heavy these fucking episodes were.
Yeah, I mean the entire show. Like I remember when I was binging it, like I'd put my phone face down, just so I was, it would be near me, because like in between episodes I would just check real quick if anybody hit me up or whatever. But I would keep my phone down just because it was so intriguing, and like there's a lot to take in. There's like certain things out there you just gotta like. Even when I go to the movies now, like I either turn my phone off or I just put it away. Because, like, you want to catch everything. So, but Game of Thrones is one of those things where it's like, shit. But, this season has been solid. I mean, it's been a lot of shit going on. I was excited to see Bran and Sansa.
Yeah.
But
what's funny? I almost, so when I was like, oh, it's gonna be Bran, you almost knew that it was gonna be Bran because of the what happened on the last Game of Thrones thing.
Yeah, I forgot about that too. Like, because he was out at the door.
I almost expected Arya to be there first.
Yeah.
So
because I forgot about Bran being there, because I remembered when they showed him, but I forgot that he was outside the gate. Like because the people were asking, "Oh, who are you?" And he was like, "Oh, I'm Bran Stark." But part of me going to Arya, part of me feels like she's never going to run into her family ever again. And like, even though she's going in that direction, and like, just like look at, I mean, Tom, I didn't read the book, so I could be totally wrong.
Dude, we're way past the books.
Okay, all right. So my thing is this: like, if you look at her, like her in the past couple of years, she's made it right there. Inches away from, well, not inches away, but not too far away from her family.
Well, that was when she was at what was the weird family with the fucking on the spectrum kid? the one who fucking pushed kids through the fucking observatory kind of hole in the fucking floor.
Yeah, different daughter, dude.
Yeah. But but you had
that was Arya.
No, that was Sansa.
Or did you say? Oh, that was Sansa. But no, Arya made it to there though.
No, she didn't go to the Vale.
She made it like.
She didn't go.
She
to
didn't
the
make
Vale.
it like.
Oh yeah, she was right outside. She was right outside.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. She made it right
in that
outside.
little alleyway.
Her and the Hound, and they were like, "Oh, she's not here anymore." And they were like, and she fucking looked at the Hound and fucking laughed, and she was like, "Ha, I told you."
Yeah, but that's the thing. So like every time she gets close, she doesn't end up meeting them. And I feel like the way it's been going with her, like I could be wrong. She could meet up with them, and I kind of want to see that because I think that's probably going to be one of the most emotional scenes in this entire series. Being that, look, when she was several feet away from getting killed or being tortured or put in a horrible situation when Ned died. If it wasn't for that dude calling her boy and taking her, she would have been everything would have been different there.
His name, fuck.
Her uncle, right?
No, it wasn't her uncle.
It wasn't her uncle. It was fucking.
He died anyways, but
Oh no, they never confirmed that he's dead.
Yeah, actually no, nothing. Like he just disappeared. Watch him come back.
Serial Pharrell.
Okay, there you go. And then the Red Wedding. She was she could have been killed. So it's like every time she gets close, either something bad happens to them or she just, or nothing happens. So also, I feel like
can we point out that they brought back that the I don't want to say fat, but the big kid who
the muffin kid.
The muffin, I thought that was really cool. Like I thought that was actually like pretty cool that they did that. Like so essentially, I'm hoping that they bring back Robb Stark's bastard. But have we confirmed that he's dead after?
You mean Robert Baratheon?
Yeah.
They've confirmed he's coming back.
Really?
They confirmed he's going to be back. He's on the cast list for this season.
Because I saw him at the premiere's red carpet event.
Yeah, Gendry.
And I was like Gendry hasn't been here for like 3 seasons, and I'm a fan of his from Skins when he used to play a Skins character from like first season of Skins in the UK. So I was like, holy shit, they're bringing back Gendry. Like, I was kind of confused, but if they bring him back, I would be very, very fucking excited.
That'd be cool. Because he did kind of like start to go, like he started to gain this sort of like, like he was becoming almost like a hero kind of. He didn't really do anything super heroic, but he was shaping up to be because he was paired with what's her name? Arya. Oh no, I'm thinking about the wrong person. My bad. I'm thinking about Podrick.
Yeah, she was with Arya. He was with Arya for the majority of the time.
I haven't seen Podrick in like two episodes. Well, you also haven't seen what's her face? Why can't I think of her name? The tall blonde who fucking
Brienne.
You haven't seen her for like an episode and a half, but you only seen Podrick for like maybe 20 seconds of the first episode.
I guess they're just not focusing on him right now. Maybe he'll come into play. But you know what I like though? Like everything's narrowing down because you remember how many different stories were going on? Like now everybody's either dead. So like the focus is narrowing down. So like you have the whatever's going on in King's Landing. Then you have whatever's going on with Daenerys and that circle. Then you have whatever's going on in the Stark house, and then you have whatever's going on.
All right, so Tommy, because you're more in tune with the books more than me and Danny are.
Yeah.
One, do you think they're ever gonna go the route of that Ned and Daenerys are cousins? Is that what the books allude to, or rumored to be?
They're not cousins. No, that's not in the books. Not that I know of.
Wait, so what was the rumor then? Like, so wait, what is because John isn't technically Ned's son.
No, he isn't Ned's son at all.
He's his what?
Nephew.
Yeah,
but not by marriage. By blood, but not by marriage.
Yeah, because the only reason why he claimed
younger
Rob,
sister, was it younger or older sister? His older sister fell in love with Rhaegar, and they left, and they had John.
Yeah, the only reason why that they Ned claimed to be his was because he didn't want to see an innocent kid die. And it's funny because we spoke about this like before with all the theories and shit going on, and like I always said, because like if you remember when Robert Baratheon ordered Ned to kill Daenerys, he said no. Because why? She was an innocent kid. She had nothing to do with anything that Rhaegar or anybody else had done. It was kind of what, kind of similar to what Daenerys was saying, recently, like how, she shouldn't be condemned for her father's sins. And that's pretty much that. Because Ned, there was no way from what we were told and how he was portrayed, there was no way he ever cheated on Catelyn. Like, right. Ned was the most loyal if there's one true person in the entire Game of Thrones, it was him.
Yeah.
It was him, because he's the only one that would never break a vow. I mean, well, he did break Rob's, he did go against Rob's orders, but that was because, killing an innocent kid. But outside of that,
honor. He had honor.
Yes. So, but that's that. But yeah, so he's what is he? That's his nephew.
So are we gonna see Fire and Ice coming together? I got really excited for this episode, and everyone kind of started spoiling it as it was airing, and I saw it I literally saw it almost just after it aired, because of everything else that was going on. But everyone was like, "Oh, this!" They were saying certain lines. Queen, what's her name? From Marjorie's grandmother,
Lady Olenna.
Lady Olenna. Oh my God,
she was awesome.
Fight me if you think Cersei's the badder bitch, because this woman is the baddest bitch in all of Westeros.
She admits it. Otherwise, she admits it. She says she's done things.
Yo,
that was the best part.
It was so
You know what's crazy about it though? I feel so I feel so bad for Jamie, because Jamie went and tried to fight for her. She was gonna die, but he gave her the most painless way to die. It was like she's gonna die in her sleep, and he did all this, and as she's dying, she's like, "Yo, I killed your son." That shit was crazy. You know what's funny though? The scene with going back a little bit, the scene with where Jon first encountered the dragon, I've never ever seen not even close to that kind of emotion in Jon Snow ever.
Mm-hmm.
Has he even shed a tear? I think probably when this chick died, that's about it. He didn't even really cry, if I'm not mistaken. I think that was it.
It's not that he doesn't show emotion, but he's
strong.
Shown.
He's strong. He doesn't show it.
Yeah, he's not. He's very stoic.
Yeah, but the thing is, when the dragons flew over his head, this dude, he wasn't afraid of White Walkers. He wasn't afraid of giants. He wasn't afraid of fucking But this dude saw the dragons, and he's like, oh shit, oh.
I mean, but
that was great. That was great.
I think that was great because it shows, holy shit, there's actually dragons.
Yeah.
All the shit that he's been through, he's still human enough to believe that dragons are so surreal.
Yeah, but he's seeing dead people.
Right, he's seeing White Walkers, and it's holy shit, White Walkers. And I'm gonna just fucking kill one of them. You know what I mean?
But I love that, because the back and forth with him and Daenerys, where Daenerys doesn't believe him, he didn't believe anything about the dragons. So he's like, yo, bitch, your dragons are real. So these White Walkers are real. Like, stop playing around.
Yeah.
It's a cool dynamic between them two, and the fact that he had the balls to say, I'm not gonna bend the knee to you. I don't give a fuck. He's like, yo, kill me right now.
Yo, for real,
you're all gonna die. If you go after me, you're all gonna die.
Exactly.
I was so proud of him for that. Like, if he would have bent the knee, and the fact that Tyrion was looking at him like,
yeah, come on, dude, please.
Come on, dude.
Just do it.
Like, I feel like even Tyrion was like, he's not that kind of guy. Like, there's no need for him to do it when he's a guy who would tell the truth through and through, and is like, yo, fuck what y'all got going on right here, but this shit right here, nigga, this shit right here.
If there's one thing Jon does not care about, it's Daenerys being on the throne.
Yeah, he could give
like,
a flying
if it's
fuck.
Cersei's, that's a different story. But yeah, he's like, whether Daenerys ends up being the biggest cunt in the world, or whether she's the most righteous and best queen, or, ruler the Seven Kingdoms has, he doesn't care. That's not what he's there for. He just, fuck it, I'm not bending the knee, man.
Yeah, I just love the fact that he's basically like, listen, we can do this whole thing after we defeat the fucking army of dead and the Night King that's coming down from the wall. So, we can deal with all of this shit, and hopefully by the end of the whole war, you're going to be like, you know what, it doesn't fucking matter.
Because the way he said, he was like, it doesn't matter when, like, the throne is...
He doesn't even want the throne.
Like, no one, like, he said, he was like, yo, like, at the end of the day, they're coming, and what's going to be left is a fucking skeleton sitting on a throne.
Yeah, exactly.
I was like, thank you so much for fucking, like... I feel like it's.
You know what though? I don't blame Daenerys for not believing him, because from where she's coming she's coming from, like,
my thing is like, yo, time out. For her not to believe him, you have been through the most shit, and you're not gonna believe the guy who's slightly on your ballpark, slightly in your depth of range.
No, that is true. The whole thing is that, like, she's been told things, so like in the back of her mind, she's probably like, look, this guy's saying
dragons
whatever.
haven't existed in what, centuries, according to legend?
What Danny's saying is that she's been told things that are going to happen.
Yeah.
That by people that she trusted, that were important, that never ended up happening the way that. So she's just skeptical in general. It's not necessarily.
Yeah,
it just
like,
makes
they're both.
Okay,
they're both not wrong, and they're both not right. Like, she's not wrong and she's not right. Like, she needs to wisen up, and we all know she will, one way or another, whether she sees it for herself or. But what do you call it? Yeah, the thing is, like, at the same time, like, she should have it in her head that, look, like you just said, dragons have been, quote unquote, extinct, or they may not have even existed. Like, she doesn't know that for sure. There's been stories about dragons, but that could all be stories. But the thing is, she should be like, hey, if this urban legend or myth is real, I fucking mothered these 3 giant beasts that everybody thinks is fake. She's seen the look in everybody's face when they didn't believe it, and then they come upon her dragons. I mean, she's seen it time and time again. So so she should be a little more like, maybe Jon's telling the truth. But then again, on the other hand, Jon could just be saying this shit to get close, and next thing you know, she's getting raped and killed, and her dragons are being killed. So it's like, it's kind of like a catch-22. I mean, we know it's true, but then again, like, you have fucking dragons. Maybe you should give Jon. And this guy's like not trying. He's not lying to you. He's being straight up. He's not trying to. He didn't come here with no men. He gave you his weapons. Like Tyrion said, Tyrion would have advised him not to come, just like everybody else told him not to go. And he said, Sansa said, don't go. He went. So, like, you gotta kind of give it to him. So it's like, it works both ways. But like I said, we all know one way or another, she's gonna come to terms. So, like, my thing is, I think this season, we might not see the big crazy episode that we've gotten.
I don't expect to be a big fucking Battle of the Bastards, Red Wedding kind of thing happening.
We'll get a fraction of that.
But,
some small battle.
absolutely we're gonna get the precursor to everything that's gonna happen. Because we're only slated for 2 more seasons or 1 more season.
They're saying 1 more season, I think, and they're supposed to be 2 hours every episode.
If we're slated for only 1 more season, I feel like this season right now is a precursor. We're gonna get all of the juicy points of just all salivating for the next season.
Everything's gonna come to come around full circle for the most part. Then next season, that's when we're gonna get nothing but blockbuster wars. That's what we're gonna get next season.
Absolutely.
Like everything's gonna come.
Battles to the north, battles to the south.
And
it's funny because originally the battle to the north led me to be more interested because I felt like that was the war that everyone should be focused on, the war that everyone is going to eventually be focused on. Yeah. But the way that Cersei has been acting, bro, I fucking watched the last episode and I was like, okay, bitch, I see you. Like, you fucking learned from every mistake that you made. She basically treated this like a broken, like, arm that's fucking gotten rehabilitated. And she's like, you know what? Now I'm going to use this arm to do X, Y, and Z. Because you've seen her be a cold fucking bitch. And you've seen her be cold and calculating and manipulative. But this past episode,
I mean,
I was like, I've never
we get off air. We get off some kind of actual channel and a website, and now all of a sudden, Law's acting like he's up in the Bronx right now and shit.
Dead ass, son.
Son. No, but you're right though, and it's funny because like Cersei's always displayed like she was a bitch at times, but there was times where she was actually very lenient and sort of caring, but she lost it.
She's so much more in this role and accepting of like, like you thought the cards
she's doing what she got to do
against me,
but she's the biggest cunt in the world, but she's probably the smartest person right now.
You saw how this episode played out. Like, there's so much that essentially 2 episodes ago, the beginning of the season, all the cards were stacked against Cersei. Mm-hmm. This episode was like, nah, fam. Like, my shit, like, I still have a huge stake in this game.
I love that whole, like that whole Grey Worm invasion thing where, Tyrion was doing kind of like that Ocean's 11 shit, where they were like, a casino where they were like telling, how it's going down and it's going down. And they thought they had, they thought, oh shit, we got this. And next thing you know, Jaime's like, yo, we're just going to go in and attack where they're not. He's like, when they come back here, they're going to get got too. So it's like, it's pretty cool how, like, yeah, you're right. Cersei is in control. Like, she has this dude, the Greyjoy, he's over there killing his own people and conquering the sea. And she's making false promises to him.
The thirst is real with him, though. And I feel like he doesn't realize, like, granted, he's going to hold his own for a little bit. And look at how, when I say a little bit, he's definitely going to hold his own. But he does not understand the extent that Cersei and Jaime has to completely controlling the Game of Thrones right now. Because as soon as the opportunity is right, they're gonna fucking off him.
And
I don't care how ruthless and fucking resourceful this dude is. He isn't shit compared to Jaime and Cersei.
All right, well, let me just stop you right there. How many times have you said that about a character before they were killed?
Wait, what said what?
How many times has someone said, "Oh, this character, oh, I don't care what you throw at them or how good you think this person is, totally not going to get the best of this character." And what happens next?
That's true. But I do think that Cersei is probably going to cut his dick off and slit his throat. But no, you're right though, because it's like we thought, we wanted Joffrey to die, but I really didn't think he would die. I thought he would be one guy that would live on. But I think with Cersei, Cersei might outlive fucking everybody here. at the end of the series, watch her still be on the throne. That's how fucked up the show is.
I would not be surprised. I would not be surprised, and I also wouldn't actually be that upset.
No, hey, bitch,
because I feel like seeing what the last, even from last season, how she plays the game. Again, this is the Game of Thrones. She's playing the game so well right now.
Mm-hmm. The only thing she's missing is Tyrion.
Surprised.
The only thing she's missing is Tyrion. If she had Tyrion on her side, if the
which is the only reason why Daenerys is doing as well as she's doing. However, as ruthless as fucking, because remember, what is her name? The queen that Tyrell, the Queen Tyrell.
She wasn't a queen.
Lady Tyrell.
Lady Tyrell. Lady Tyrell basically said Cersei had more imagination than me. You know what I mean? So, like, I feel like Cersei is one of those characters where she is going to go above and beyond and have the gauntlet of things that we can't even fathom. And even for Daenerys has done so much. She has, like, 12 names now to her name.
Fucking
you know what I mean?
It goes back to Cersei's as a kid. You know, when she was younger, she was told by that Witcher or whoever it was that you know, you're going to be bested by someone who's prettier than you and this and that, and you know, outside of Daenerys, I don't know anybody who really has that hanging over their head, you know, their entire life. And you know, Cersei's like with just the way her family was and just everything, like, yeah, she has the most I guess the most to fight for, the most to prove. There you go, the most to prove. And, you know, granted, she has no family now outside of Jaime and Tyrion, but, you know, she clearly showed her kids outside of her daughter don't mean shit to her. She didn't care that Tommen died. She cared that Joffrey died, but when Tommen died, she was just like, whatever, fuck it. Like, she was mad because he
cared more about Joffrey and her daughter than she cared about Tommen, and it's because it's not that she didn't care about Tommen, but Tommen was literally like her last child, like her last.
That and with
seeing
him,
the Lannister name become this great thing.
With him,
and it's not that great thing live on.
With him, it was that also too, like, you know, she saw that he wasn't going to be all about mom. You know, like, he obviously, you know, he fell in love with Marjorie, and she was able to get in his ear. So he was young and he was sort of manipulated easy, but you could tell as he was going to get older, he was going to have a mind of his own and see the monster that his mom is, and she didn't like that. You know, she saw that, like, she wasn't like him. Now the daughter is different because that was her only daughter. So, you know, like, that's that connection. Yeah. But with Joffrey, she was like, even though he kind of like revolted at some point against, you know, like sometimes against her, he saw like that was her first child, and that was like the spitting image of her. Like, now we see where he gets it from, because you didn't really see it that much. You saw glimpses of it, but now you see where he gets it from.
Well, no, exactly. You saw in Joffrey what Cersei wanted to be able to do, but she was smart enough to know how to play the game to manipulate her way to be able to get to the point where she could do that, which she's doing now.
Yep, and you know, it kind of begs the question, like, I mean, this is kind of sort of debunking what I said, like, what you know, her caring about Joffrey and her daughter. Well, her daughter, I put her out the equation, but, like, kind of like, what if, like, she, not that we know she didn't have anything to do with Joffrey dying, but what if she, like, you know, I'm not saying she wanted them to die, she was hoping they would die, but, like, damn, I'm trying to word this the right way, but you know what, actually, no, I'm gonna just totally disregard that. What I'm trying to say is that, like, her kids dying, that was just like, all right, cool, now, like, this is it, this is what I'm gonna become. You know, like, that was the fuel to push her to be what she was supposed to be. Like, I guess that's what I'm trying to say. Like, yeah, I totally butchered that, but whatever. But yeah, so when her kids died, it's just like, all right, cool. Now, I have that fuel to be the complete bitch that I want to be. I don't have my kids to hold on to keep her human or something like that. Whatever. But yeah, that's what I was kind of trying to say.
I got you.
It's getting late. That's why,
Yeah, I think it might be time to call it. We'll just wait for Lawrence to get back
we should just
from his fucking
we should
PJ.
just totally just leave him hanging. That'd be a nice little story. But yeah, no, it's been a great season so far. I mean, I'm surprised. Usually the first episode, people are like, oh, first episode sucked, because nothing happened.
Well, yeah. Nothing happened in the episode. Well, people still said that because nothing happened in the episode after Arya killed everybody.
True. Yeah, that was the only big thing that happened.
It was so slow. Shut the fuck up. It's called character development, you motherfucker. Learn.
Exactly. This show would not be as good as it is. And it's funny, how a lot of people shit on The Walking Dead now? That makes me want to watch it more because I feel like when I did, because I kind of fell off with it, and not because I didn't like it, just because I fell off with it. I'm glad that now I have a bunch of seasons to binge watch. People are like, oh, it's boring, it's getting old. And that makes me want to watch it more because I feel like the original intent of the show, which was to character development. Mm-hmm. It's not a full on zombie apocalypse thing. It's more about the people and how they're losing their humanity and all that shit. And I like that. And the slowest episodes of The Walking Dead were some of my favorites. Granted, you like those big, full-blown episodes.
Oh, of course, everybody does, but you don't mind. I like the character development.
Yeah, but everybody wants it to be boom, boom, pow, boom, boom, pow. That's why, when you get an episode that's, not, that giant battle in Game of Thrones, everybody's like, oh, it sucks, and, whatever.
Well, we only get, 2 of those a season, if that.
If that, yeah, that we get,
and
we
they're
get,
never the
small
finale.
battles.
They're always, the episode or 2 episodes before the finale.
And then the finale is, the finale's slow. It's just a bunch of shit is happening because, a bunch of things are coming around, and unfolding, but it's still but whatever. I mean, fuck what everybody says.
Can I just make one quick statement about the whole Daenerys being the white savior trope?
Oh God, do it.
Please.
That's just a load of bullshit. Read the fucking book.
Oh, that article was so stupid.
Don't
I
give
remember
me any of that shit. Don't give me any of that shit.
I didn't want to look at it, so I just read the first couple paragraphs. And it may sound hypocritical because I didn't read it. I don't know what she's trying to say, but dude, I know what they're trying to say. It's like you're not happy with the fact that she's a woman being strong.
They keep saying that she is somehow oppressing the people that she's quote unquote saving and making them do these things for her. Where if you actually paid attention or you read the book, one of the two, you would know that they're doing it out of the willingness of their own heart. That they physically are doing it because they love her.
I wish we were
Tyrion explained that.
Right? I'm doing this whole thing with double middle fingers up in the air. She's not manipulating or oppressing these people. She literally saves them from slavery and then says, "You're free to go, or you can chill with me." But I have to go do these things. So if you are going to chill with me, and you're of fighting age, and you want to help the cause and help free other people, then join up. I'll feed you. I'll take care of you. I'm, as you say, your mother.
Yeah, that's how it worked back then. If you were an able-bodied boy at a certain age, and you weren't crippled or whatever, you were more than likely going to fight. And part of it was because you had to, but at that time, before Civil War, before the American Civil War, war was a big deal. As a man, as a boy, you wanted to go to war. War didn't become such a horror, for people who weren't in it until photography came around. Before photography came around, people like me and you, before we went to war, we wanted to go. I mean, granted, when you got there, it was something different, and you saw the horrors of it.
It was
romantic. But so for them to say that, it's so stupid. And Tyrion even explained it himself. He said the difference between the Lannister army and our army is that the Lannister army fights out of fear of their leader, We fight the Grey Worms and whoever else we have fighting for us is fighting because they believe in Daenerys and they're fighting for freedom. So
they're fighting
like
for
it's so
solid.
Yeah, it's so stupid. It's almost like even with American soldiers or just soldiers of like the whatever free countries. You have people out there that want to fight the war, that they want to be there. They want to be the person that fights for their country's freedom. It's not about being oppressed. I mean, yeah, you have some countries where you're forced to do it, but hey, it's crazy. Like, it's not enough that she's a female protagonist and she's possibly
but like it doesn't matter because she has white skin and she is the queen and the mother and the breaker of chains. But like I said, it all gets misconstrued into she is oppressing and manipulating the people that she's quote unquote saved, which is not.
Everything is black and white.
What happened?
Yeah, exactly.
And they were like, oh, they said. I think the article said something along the lines of like why am I forgetting? The Dothraki were these savages that needed to be either wiped out or saved. And it's like, I don't know if I ever really got that because, like if she saw it like that, then she would have looked at the Dothraki the way that her brother did before he was killed by Khal Drogo. She was, if anything, she was basically sold into slavery. I don't see how they can be so upset. Like, you basically had exactly what you wanted for some rich little white girl that's a queen, was supposed to be a queen of royalty. She gets sold off as a slave to this tribe of, they're not savages. I want to say they're closer to like Aboriginal tribes. Like they didn't industrialize. They don't need to industrialize. Their culture is what their culture is.
Yeah. And they're strong by doing what they're doing.
They're strong doing what they're doing. They don't need to fucking go past where they are because where they are has sustained them for decades and centuries.
Yeah, who's really stopping them?
Yeah, no one's really stopping them. So why have to?
Essentially, they're safe in doing what they're doing.
Exactly.
Their race, whatever. Their
tribe. It's a tribe.
Yeah, their tribe is safe, because of the way they run things. So it's like.
So she was sold into slavery, essentially a sex slavery, even worse because she was a child bride.
Mm-hmm.
And she has to go into this culture where she doesn't know the language. She's married to this giant man.
At this point, she knows like fucking 5 languages.
And in the book, I say child bride because in the book she's like 13 years old. She's just she's just starting to go through puberty.
Yeah, they made everybody older in the show to avoid awkwardness and shit.
Daenerys was. By the time book 5 hits, Daenerys is 16.
Shit.
Yeah, exactly. So she's like 12 or 13 when she marries Khal Drogo. And then
what's funny though,
even if she not only does she assimilate into the culture, but a lot of the Dothraki accept her, and she becomes the Khaleesi, and she learns to ride, and she actually respects and reveres their culture. And honestly, I think if it would have been one of those deals where she would want to go home, but if she never got to go home and only had to stay with the Khal, she would have said, "Fuck all that. I'll stick here and stick with this culture."
Yeah.
The only reason she leaves is because Drogo dies, and then she goes and essentially is like, you know what, fuck this, because she wanted loyalty because the one thing she didn't like about their culture was it was all derived from the Khal. Once the Khal was gone, there's no reason for any of the strong to stick around. So she's like, fuck this. I'm going to take anyone who wants to follow me. We're going to go across the fucking desert. She gets across the desert. She fucking wipes out the House of the Undead in Mir, I do believe. And then she fucking goes and frees all of these slave cities. Slaver's Bay. And all of the masters revolt against her. And they're all
dude,
people
it's like
of
from the from the get, she said, "If you guys want to stay with me, stay with me. If you want to go, you're free to go."
Yeah, she
So
says that
like,
every, and that, she said that every time.
everywhere she goes. Like,
and not only that, but since she's only 14, 15 years old, and the line that she uses in the book, that she uses in the TV show, but it's more effective in the book, is, "I'm just a young girl and I don't know the ways of war." Like, she'll pull the "oh well, I'm so young and stupid, what do I know?" And she's smart, but she's 14 years old. She's 15 years old. She doesn't know how to fucking rule a population. Never mind a population that at this point is currently made up of
at the same breath, she's even though she's older in the series, she's also young enough and again not as well equipped to run a nation or run a population in the series as well. Who is anyone to say like, yeah, you're 21, you can fucking rule a nation?
Dude, it's
she just
that's not even
there's
what they're worried about.
basis of anything.
Yeah,
that's really not what anyone's complaining about. What they're complaining about is that it's a white character that are freeing all these quote unquote brown people, and that's apparently some sort of trope.
Everything has to be about race.
Yeah.
Because.
And right, all right.
So
granted, her skin is white.
Yeah, but she's been through just about every possible atrocity that she could possibly be.
Yeah, take it at that. Take it as a female persevering through, like all kinds of tragedies, against all odds. Like, take it as that. Like, why they gotta pick something and. This is what, like, it's crazy. Like, you got these people with their fucking 2-sentence paragraphs. Like, that's another thing that pisses me off. Like, yo, like, you do know that paragraph consists of more than 2 sentences, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, we all went to fucking English. Like, they try to come off mad intelligent. They be like, Daenerys is a queen. Daenerys has dragons. Next paragraph. Like, but anyways, yeah. Like, why can't you just, like, I mean... She got raped. She's been through this. She's been through that. She has no family. She's becoming one of the most strongest, respected females in, she's not sucking dick to get to the top or something like that. Like, she's not manipulating people.
If anything, she's fucking destroyed every dick that she's done.
And check this out. Here's the biggest thing. This is fictional.
Oh, for sure. Well,
this is fucking fictional.
Danny, right, did you say this is fictional and this is not real? Because everyone seems to get hung up on the fact that fictional characters have as much weight and consequence as fucking real people do.
Mm-hmm.
Culturally, maybe. But I think the one thing that everyone keeps skipping, and no one has ever brought this up in any sort of argument either way, is that Daenerys is Targaryen, which means her roots are from Valyria, which means she's from another country entirely from Westeros. So she herself, her family, was an immigrant and was actually part of Esteros, which they pass while they're in there, but Valyria had the doom essentially came over their lands and it was all cursed, and the Targaryens were the last of the Valyrian, or one of the few families that got out. So she's an immigrant. She actually came over and it conquered all of the white people that were already over there. So she conquered a bunch of white people, and then, well, not her, but her family. And then the Targaryens ruled for 500 years plus, and then they were ousted. And then she came back over there, was sold into slavery, hatched fucking dragons out of stones, walked across the desert, freed a bunch of people in Slaver's Bay, has the revered, unsullied soldiers out of sheer respect, and not because, she paid for them, killed the masters, and said, all right, cool, you helped me kill the masters, I made my point, if you want to stick around, cool, if you don't, you can go. And like 90% of them stayed. And then she goes and she's coming back to, kill all the white people again.
Nope, but because she's white, and just because she's like, come on, she's not like.
She's bringing all the she's bringing all of the people of color over across the ocean to kill all of the white people.
But Tommy, that's not what my heart believes because I don't know how to read the book.
That's not even what their heart believes. That's just what they want to believe because it's a quote unquote it is a issue now. Well, yeah, quote unquote issue when it's really not an issue. It's just something that people want. Like I was telling, I don't know if you were in on this part of the conversation, but I was telling Tom, like, I think people, like just a group of people, sort of like the Illuminati of journalists, quote unquote, they just see something and they're like, oh, let's start up a controversy, spread it as if people are quote unquote complaining about it and that it's a quote unquote controversy when it really isn't, and nobody would have ever thought of it until these people decided to. Because let's face it, like these things are not. Come on, we're really complaining about who's playing who, and it's a fictional character. Again, if you're gonna have a white lady play Michelle Obama in a biopic, all right, get mad. That's a real deal. But if we're talking about a dark skinned girl who has vitiligo playing a character with a skin mutation, the fuck? Dude, we got British people playing American characters.
We're not complaining about playing that? British people.
Yeah, British characters. Like, it happens.
But Danny, it doesn't matter. Their skin color is the same.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Fuck it, right?
It's yeah, dude.
We are the reason why we cannot have nice things.
It sucks because this is a war we're never gonna win. The good old J.R. Jim Ross said recently, and this is something that goes on. You know, a lot of people say this, but
my God, my God.
Like, no, not my God. Think of your family, not that. But you know, because his wife had passed, and you know, like he was going through a lot of shit, and he would get mad at things like things that like stuff like this that bothers us, and I try to live by this mantra. I've been trying to live by this mantra for forever. It's like, don't let things bother you that are out of your control. And I try to ignore things. I see people post stuff, but dude, it's just like it gets under your skin, like, oh man, and like
after a while,
but
it's like, fuck this.
This is a war we're never gonna win, and we always say this. I think we said this like fucking every week on the show. Next week we're gonna talk about positive stuff. We're not gonna talk about this shit no more. What happens? The next day, not even a couple days after, not 2 weeks later, the next day, maybe even the same night, Lawrence or Thomas is sending an article to the group chat, talk about, oh, this controversial, blah 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 blah.
Yeah, whatever, and it's usually like, Jesus Christ, did we just say that this was over? Can we be done with this?
It's sort of entertainment, and like I don't really get, like, it doesn't hurt me. I don't lose sleep over this. It's just sort of like a sort of mocking anger in a sense, like just like, dude, are you guys really doing this now? Like we go back to the Mystique and Apocalypse poster, like or Wonder Woman, people complaining because Wonder Woman was being advertised on Think Thin bars,
or the Trini poster.
Wait, what?
Do you remember the Trini poster you brought up about Power Rangers?
Oh, Trini, yeah. Like, dude, it's just like, oh my god, like everybody, like, dude, you're complaining about Wonder Woman being on a product that is supposed to be, it's called Think Thin, but naturally nobody wants to be obese. Not everybody's saying you have to be fucking super skinny thin, but like it's about being healthy. Like, it's crazy. You always got something to complain about. But then if they put her on like fucking McDonald's, oh, they're promoting her on McDonald's. Oh, man.
It's always gonna be something.
You fucking never win.
And like, on that note, I think it's
Merry Christmas, guys. Yeah, it is. I gotta go to work, man.
It's been facts. I've been gonna be up at like I've been at work at 8.
I will say one thing on a very positive note. It's great to be back. It's been a while. We haven't spoke in this, well, at least all three of us haven't spoke in a while. Yeah. Since the other thing went down. But it's really good to be back.
And now the first installment of what I'm going to call, until we have a better title, hashtag crazy shit loss on the subway. Enjoy.
Alright, so story time. I see the wildest shit on the train. Like, hands down, if you guys see my snap, I'll put the link later on. Matter of fact, Batman121598. Follow me on Snapchat. You guys see like the crazy shit that happens to only me, and because I live in New York, it's like a weird kind of thing. So I'm gonna share with you. We're gonna start making this an installment. Crazy wild shit that happens on the subway. I feel like that's a working title. Jaylene, I think, had a better title, but I can't remember off the top of my head right now. But this one is called Grandma Got Super Kicked by this chick. Like, I don't even... Alright, let me backtrack. So, coming home from work, been a long day. Riding the D train up to my house, to the crib. And this, I want to say like in her 30s, 40s, like black girl, is arguing with this old Asian couple. The older Asian couple is sitting down, and I guess like the older Asian couple, the lady must have said something to the effect of like, "Oh, you're being mad childish," or "You're rude," something to the effect of like a disapproving older woman thing to say. And you can just see the black girl going like, "Yo, what's up? Like, pop off. Yo, you don't even know me like that, blah, blah." So this goes on for like, I want to say from like 1:45th. Probably a little longer. And like, the tension is just there. Like, everyone's just like looking, but not trying to stare. Everyone's taking out their headphones to try to like figure out what's happening. So we get to, I want to say like 170th, and for like 3 stops, this chick looks like she's about to get off the train. So we're like, all right, cool. Like, once she gets off, then we can just go on our merry way and be like, oh shit, that was crazy. So she keeps like getting in Grandma's face, and Grandma looks like she's unfazed by this loud ass chick who is acting mad childish and immature, and for rightful reasons. She was getting wild crazy, and you're an adult, like, come on. And this is an older, woman. Like, once older people get to a certain age, they can pretty much do whatever the fuck they want within reason. If Grandma wants to steal a candy bar from the corner store, you're really gonna tackle Grandma for a Snickers bar? She probably having a rough day. Like, let her have that. Hold on. You can, do that. Do you, boo-boo. Alright, so we get, 170th, 174th. She looks like she's getting off the train, but she doesn't. Like, she keeps, like, I guess Grandma's saying something, or she's, shooting her a look. So she keeps, like, darting towards the exit and then coming back to Grandma. Darting towards the exit, coming back to Grandma. So finally, in the last couple minutes of us getting into, or last couple seconds of us being at Tremont, the girl looks like she's about to get off the train. It's like, for real this time. So she then proceeds to like super kick Grandma. Like, Tommy, please put in a JR, my God, wrestling, kind of thing. Because it was something like the whole car heard it. She picked up her foot, and she didn't even pick up her foot and lean back. It was kind of like a big boot, but with like the force and intensity of a super kick where you lean back and it was crazy. So Grandma's head bounces off, the back of the train, and just before she leaves. So the chick leaves, everyone's just standing confused, like, holy shit, did that really fucking just happen? Sure enough, it did. And, doors close, and we're just like, what the fuck is gonna happen? I'm like, shit, because all I had was one more stop, and I would have been home. Why? Like, I do whatever the fuck I want, just let me live. Let me get to my house, Y'all do whatever the fuck y'all want later. So sure enough, doors close. We take not even an inch, like, you know, moving forward, and someone yanks on the fucking pull cord, the emergency rip cord, or whatever the case is, and everyone's like, "Oh, fucking, are you kidding me? Oh, man." So they go, you know, police are coming, do the investigation, blah, blah, blah. And at this point, you got mad heads who live literally one stop away, like myself, just going like, "Yo, we just had one more stop. What the fuck, what the fuck, what the fuck? Let us off this train." Doors open, they let us off. And I'm in a state of like, that's wild. Holy shit, did that really just happen? And kind of like, I wonder if grandma had it coming. Like, so many emotions, so many thoughts. But, yeah, this is a story about one time that grandma got super kicked in the face. Hope you guys enjoyed it. There'll be more installments. Crazy MTA stories. We gotta get the solid working title. But, this is your boy Law. Shout out to Geek Ronin. Shout out to Imbion. And I'll come up with some more stories for you guys to listen to soon. Peace.